Learned people know that the requitals of or consequences of deeds yasta vigana navan bhavati samanashkaha sadashushi satu tatpada mapnoti yasmad bhuyo nayayate. Learned people know that the requitals or consequences of deeds, karma phala, are inevitably bound to follow one's actions, and so they do not waste time uselessly thinking about them. Fortified with courage and instilled with Brahma Bhava, they face all calamities of retribution bravely. They always consider themselves pure, for they have purged their minds of the past. Those who have tasted even a little of the flowing nectar of Brahma know that they can never be impure. This constant thought of self-purity greatly helps to exhaust their samskaras, or reactive momenta, as a result of which the samskaras held in the stira bhumi of their prana are gradually destroyed. With the help of sadhana or spiritual practice, the spell of pleasurable and painful requitals ceases both internally and externally. Sadhakas call it the combustion of the seed of action in the fire of sadhana. Vijnana sarara tiryastu manaha pragrahavanaraha sodavanaha paramapnoti savishnu paramam padam. As a result of sadhana, all three organs, i.e. motor, sensory and prana, gradually attain composure. When all the organs attain steadiness and composure and are absorbed in the bearing of the Supreme Being, we call it the state of samadhi or trance or absorption. Without this attainment of steadiness, samadhi is impossible. For without steadiness, meditation, dhyana, is not possible, and without meditation, samadhi is not possible. The practice of meditation is nothing but the proper control over the mind like rain with the help of a super-knowing charioteer. In the human mind, there are approximately 50 vrittis or propensities of mind. The degree of intensity of these 50 vrittis depends upon the different glandular secretions of the body. Thus, proper functioning of the mind depends upon the different glandular secretions of the body, upon the afferent power of the nerve fibers, and upon the capacity of the nerve cells to vibrate thought. In other words, with the acceptance or rejection of any of the sentiments, both the human body and mind are influenced. For example, if one thinks of ghosts, one thinks of one's probable danger from them. That is to say, the thought of ghosts is intimately connected with the fear instinct, bhaya vritti. Thus it was through the impulse of fear instinct that people in ancient times learned to conceive of ghosts. Even in those blatantly helpless days, the primitive people could not remove the idea of ghosts through reasoning due to their limited intellectual power. The remnant of that belief in ghosts still persists in the people of today. The minds even of children who have neither come to believe in ghosts in a natural way nor have been beaten by the strong are still made into haunts of imaginary ghosts by their elders, who force into the children's mind illusions of fear. A strong momentum of fear already exists in the mind of children, due to the experience of their past animal lives, and their elders try to arouse that impulse anew. The repressed thought of ghosts may indeed arise in the mind of a person of any age in suitable conditions, so the attempt to make people believe in ghosts who have never heard of them or who do not believe in their existence is grossly unfair. People should be guided to rise above all kinds of fears and ghosts. This not only brings their vrittis easily under control, but makes their minds strong as well. You may have heard that some people, after married for a second time, see the spirit of their deceased wives or husbands. These are but the plays of the mind. After remarriage, some weak-minded people who believe in ghosts keep thinking about their first wives. They keep imagining that their first wives have resented their remarriage and that their spirits will now come to punish them or their new spouses. And their second wives also often think thus. As a result, both of them see imaginary spirits, believing that they really appeared, and give a starting fright. Sometimes they faint or inarticulately repeat those very things which they had expected those so-called spirits to say, and people take for granted that they are possessed by ghosts. In such a condition as the conscious mind Kamamaya Kosha is wholly or partially absorbed in the subconscious mind, Manomaya Kosha the consciousness of reality becomes impaired. Such people then heedless of propriety and the respect due to their elders openly express the imagination of their subconscious minds. When the exorcists come to exorcise the spirit, they try to set right the mind, quote, spirit. They try to set right the mind of the patients by making them inhale the smoke of different objects. They try to bring the conscious mind to normalcy and awaken the Kamamaya Kosha by arousing in the nervous system the sense of reality with blows or abuse. To confound and distract the assembled spectators, they mumble and mutter a few mantras or incantations. You may have encountered yet another type of demoniacal possession, which does not weaken the conscious mind very much in the wakeful state, but during sleep such strength of mind does not exist, and as a result during sleep, while lying on his back, the person sees nightmare of imaginary ghost sitting on his chest. Dreaming is an act. Dreaming is an act of the subconscious mind. In the dream state, the imaginary ghost of the subconscious mind takes form beautifully and repeats verbatim to him the language of his imagination. In the dreamful state, he feels stupefied with fear. Due to this excessive stupefaction, he starts groaning, and people take it to be demoniacal possession. Thus, what is generally called a nightmare is usually the vision of a person whom the dream had oppressed in the past, and whom the weak-minded oppressor now sees after that person's death. So you see how blatantly harmful it is to give indulgence to fear. All this is in reference to Bhaya-vritti, or fear instinct only, but actually this observation is true of every ectoplasmic occupation or vritti. To attain Brahma, you must rise above all ectoplasmic occupations. Without the suspension of the vrittis, it is impossible to attain Brahma. Yogashita vritti nirodha. Now the question may arise, is not effort to attain Brahma a mental occupation? No, it is not, for a vritti or mental occupation is concerned with the petty ego, with effort to devour everything for the pleasure of the petty ego. But Brahma sadhana, divine contemplation or endeavor to attain Brahma, is the effort to dedicate the small ego to the great ego, so we cannot call it a vritti or sensual desire. Sadhana or meditation is not a vritti, it is the fullest expression of love itself. Atmendriya priti ichcha tare balikam, Krishnendriya priti ichcha dare premanama, Kamer tatparya niya samboga keval, Krishna sukha banshahai premette praval, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Passion is egocentrical incline. Passion divine is love divine. Passion's aim is self-gratification. Passion for bliss is love's inspiration. The person's body, like chariot, is guided by the charioteer of valid cognition, will certainly reach the characteristic bearing of that love-saturated Brahma. The path leading to this characteristic super self is the sadhana marga, which is called Ananda Marga, or the path leading to absolute bliss. The characteristic love, that supreme essence, that absolute blissful entity, is the supreme state of Vishnu. In this supreme state, there is no possibility of any mental function. It is beyond the scope of pleasure and pain. Here, in this state, lies the final cessation of all the pains of the triply afflicted unit. The three kinds of human afflictions are mundane, supramundane, and spiritual.